Hello students, this is Ms. Dalton and this is video 2.3, Solving Absolute Value Equations. In order to solve absolute value equations, you have to remember that you have to use the fact that the expression inside the absolute value symbols can be either positive or negative. So if you look at this example that I have up here, you can see that the absolute value of -8 is equal to +8, and the absolute value of +8 is equal to +8. So in order to get this answer, we have two options. The inside of the absolute value can be equal to the negative of that number, and what's inside the absolute value bars could be equal to the positive number. So we're going to use this information to go ahead and solve absolute value equations. Take a second and write down these steps. These are the steps that you're going to use to solve for an absolute value equation. The first thing you're going to do is you have to make sure that you isolate the absolute value part of the equation. If there's anything on the outside of the absolute value bars, you would want to move it to the other side, get those absolute value bars by themselves. Then you will set the absolute value expression equal to both the positive and the negative. And remember, we're doing that because inside those absolute value bars, if it's equal to a positive, then the absolute value is positive. But also if the inside of the absolute value bars is negative, it equals positive. So you have to set it equal to both of them in order to solve it. And then the last thing you're going to do is check your answers. It's very important that you do this because sometimes you will get what we call an extraneous solution. And that means that you solved for a solution, but when you plug it back into the original equation, it does not work. Okay, so let's look at this first example. We have that the absolute value of x minus 2 is equal to 5. So our first step says to isolate the absolute value part of the equation. Well, you can see that our absolute value bars are in fact by themselves on that left side of the equation, so they have already been isolated, so we do not need to do that part. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the inside of that absolute value and we're going to set it equal to both the positive and negative solution. So we're going to take x minus 2 and we're going to set it equal to positive 5, but we're also going to take that x minus 2 and set it equal to negative 5, because again, if we take the absolute value of negative 5, we also get the positive 5. And now we're going to solve each one of those. So for this one, I would have to add 2 to both sides. So x would equal to 7. And on this side, when I add 2 to both sides, x is equal to negative 3. And now let's check our answers. So we're going to plug in 7 for x. So 7 minus 2, or the absolute value of 7 minus 2, does that in fact equal 5? And yes, it does. And does, when I plug in negative 3 minus 2 in the absolute value bars, does that equal 5? And we can see that that would be the absolute value of negative 5, which does in fact equal positive 5. So both solutions work. Okay, so let's look at our next example. We have the absolute value of 2x minus 7 minus 5 equals 4. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to isolate that absolute value, which means we would need to add 5 to both sides. And that would give us the absolute value of 2x minus 7 equals 9. And then your next step is to set set it equal to both the positive and negative. So we would have 2x minus 7 that could equal positive 9, but we also have 2x minus 7 that could equal negative 9. And now we're going to solve it. So we would add 7, so we would get 2x equals 16, which would make x equal to 8. And then we would add 7 here, which would be 2x equals negative 2, and so x would equal negative 1. Plug them back in to make sure they work. So it would be 2 times the x, so we're going to do 8 first, and then minus 7, take the absolute value of that, subtract 5, and does that equal 4? Does that equal 4? Well, 2 times 8 is 16. 16 minus 7 would be 9, so the absolute value of 9, and then minus 5, would in fact equal 4. So that one checks. Let's check this next one. So we've got the absolute value, 2 times negative 1 minus 7 minus 5, and does that equal 4? Well, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 7 would be negative 9. So then you'd have the absolute value of negative 9, which does equal positive 9. And then you would subtract 5, and that does equal 4. So our two solutions for x is that x can equal 8 and x can equal negative 1. Okay, on this next one, the first step is to isolate the absolute value, and you can see that on the left side of the equation it is by itself, so we do not need to worry about doing anything with that. Then it says to set it equal to both the positive and negative. Okay, well here's what's going to happen. So we're going to have 9 minus 2x, and we want to set that equal to the positive 10 plus 3x. Sorry, my handwriting is so bad. Well, when we set it equal to the negative, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take that 9 minus 2x, set it equal to, and you're going to put it in parentheses. You're going to take negative of that whole expression, 10 plus 3x. Okay, so on this one, let's go ahead and subtract 9 to the other side. And then let's also subtract the 3x to the left side. So this would cancel. Negative 2x minus 3x is negative 5x. 10 minus 9 is 1, and this cancels. When you divide by a negative 5, you get x equals a negative 1/5. Okay, on the negative part, so we're going to have 9 minus 2x equals, if I distribute that negative, then that's going to give me negative 10 minus 3x. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve it. So we've got negative 9. We're going to subtract 9 on both sides. Okay, so then we have negative 2x equals negative 19 minus 3x. Then if we add 3x to the other side, we get x equals negative 19. Okay, here's where you will need to make sure that you check your answers. So we're going to plug in, let's see, so we're going to do the absolute value of 9 minus 2. First we're going to do a negative 1/5. And that equals 10 plus 3 times a negative 1/5. Okay, is that a true statement? Well, a negative 2 times a negative 1/5 is a positive 2/5. So this would give us the absolute value of 9 and 2/5. On this side, we would get 10 plus a negative 3/5, which would also give you 9 and 2/5. So when you take the absolute value of 9 2/5, it will equal the positive, so that checks. Now let's check the negative 19. So here we're going to have, let me go ahead and draw a line so that you can see. So we're going to have the absolute value of 9 minus 2 times negative 19. And does that equal 10 plus 3 times negative 19? So we'd have negative 2 times negative 19 is a positive 38, and then 38 plus 9 would give you 47. So this would be the absolute value of 47 equals, over here, negative 19 times 3 gives you negative 57, and then negative 57 plus 10 gives you a negative 47. So you can see that when you take the absolute value of positive 47, it does not equal negative 47, so we cannot use the negative 19. So your only solution, I'm going to go ahead and write it up here, your solution would just be a negative 1/5. A negative 19 would be considered an extraneous solution, and so that will not work. Okay, I hope you got some good notes. Make sure you come to class with those notes filled out, and write down any questions that you have so that I can go over them when you come to class.